Most monsters in my Singing Monsters go through many changes before being released. From small tweaks to completely different designs, it's always interesting to look back at what could have been. And some concept designs are even cooler than the final designs in my opinion. I even made a whole video on it a couple years ago. But for this video, I wanted to go over the concept designs that I'm glad didn't make the final cut, whether they are just not as good as the final design, or they are straight up awful. There are a decent amount of monster designs that I think were better off left as concept art. Keep in mind these are all my opinion. Anyways, let's begin. To start off, we are looking at one of Mammot's concept art, the shark. Although I don't hate the design, Mammot just works a lot better as a Yeti. This was probably before they decided to make him the cold element monster, but I'm glad they did. Mammot is a perfect representation of the cold element and has a simple yet perfect design. Mammot is actually one of my favorite monsters in the whole game. His design and sound is just so iconic and nostalgic. Him and Furcorn are basically the mascots of the game. So yeah, I'm glad Mammot didn't stay a shark. He probably wouldn't be as memorable. The next early version of a monster I'm glad was cut is this early Maw design. Maw has always been so appealing to me because of his lack of features. He has no eyes, legs, arms, hands, nothing. He's literally just a living mouth, hence the name. So Maw kind of loses all of his charm when you give him all of these features. He has eyes, legs, fingers, antlers. It just doesn't work and makes him not as special, so I'm glad they decided to make him more simple. Next is this concept design for the Spooktacle Seasonal, aka Punkleton. I actually don't hate this design, in fact I quite like it, but I like Punkleton a lot more. Not only do I think Punkleton just represents Halloween better, but I think he stands out a lot more than this zombie guy. He kind of just feels like an undead Sugarbush. Speaking of Sugarbush, I'm glad this abomination got scrapped. It's horrifying. It seems like they were going for more of a human-like appearance, possibly trying to resemble Christian Bush, the person he is based on and voiced by. But I am so glad they decided to make his face less human. Imagine an entire Suga fam with this scary face. Another monster with a strange face in its concept art is Bisonorus. The concept design isn't too bad, but my main problem with it is the face. It's just really weird looking, so I'm glad they changed it to how it is today. Also, I think the color scheme on them is better now instead of the blue. The next one is this concept art for Potbelly. This isn't too different from the final design, but the biggest difference is the absence of the second head. In my opinion, this makes Potbelly super boring. The two heads is the most interesting part of Potbelly's design and how they sing together, so if it was just one head, it would be really boring and not very memorable. It also just looks a bit naked. Next is this Spunge concept art. I mean, look at it, it straight up looks like a lump of poop. I really want to know what they were thinking when considering this design. Did they mean to make it look like poop, or was that a complete accident? Either way, I'm glad they decided to make him green and not squished. Spunge is a perfect design. Next is this air single element concept art. Before being Tweedle, it was this weird orange thing. I don't hate the design, but I'm glad it wasn't used for the single element because it just doesn't really look like a single element in my opinion. Single elements are supposed to be very simple and basic, and I think Tweedle works way better as the air element. The next one is this concept art for Gloptic. This concept was actually revisited for Catalyst, so it wasn't fully scrapped. However, I'm glad they didn't decide to make it the psychic quad because I think Gloptic fits that role way better. I definitely wouldn't mind it too much if it did end up being the quad, but I just like Gloptic better, so that's why it's on this list. The next unused design is this Bellowfish concept art. Honestly, I can't even tell what I'm looking at here. It looks like some sort of puffer fish, but it just looks really strange. It has a bunch of random things on it and it looks like an amalgamation of a bunch of different things. Just a very strange design and doesn't really look like it belongs on Ethereal Island or my Singing Monsters in general. This next one is an iconic one, the octopus concept art. I was thinking about not even putting it in this video because I actually sort of like it for how dumb looks, but I just have to talk about it. Look at this thing, it looks like Quagmire when he turns into a toilet. As a bonus there's this concept art, he looks really weird without the orange lips. I never realized how much that really adds to the design. Also it's interesting how he was originally going to have actual squid suction thingies. Next is this wink concept. God dang, why are his legs so long? He makes Shra look short. Not gonna lie, it would actually be really funny if he looked like this. And that's pretty much it for the monster designs. I'm glad we're cut, but before I end this video I wanted to talk about one more thing as a bonus. I wanted to talk about these concept arts. I didn't include it on the list because I actually like them, but these are unused monsters for Dawn of Fire. These monsters honestly look pretty cool despite not really matching the MSM art style. I feel like not enough people talk about these. I really like the soda hat guy. Maybe this cake monster was meant to be the anniversary month seasonal before Jamboree was a thing, who knows. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and tell me what monster concept arts you like and dislike. Bye guys.